Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How y'all doing? Well, today Miss V is in the kitchen and I'm about to clean my deep fryer. I started cleaning it and I thought about maybe I'll show everybody how I clean my deep fryer. Okay, so with my deep fryer, these are the parts I usually have to take apart. And I usually sit it in a plastic bag to keep from making a mess. And this is part of it. And then this sits down inside like that. When I finish cleaning, I'll show you how to put it all back together. Now this part is this is the reservoir that holds the oil. So I've already cleaned the oil out of here. And what I usually do, I usually hold on to a bottle, like a Crisco bottle or Wesson oil, whatever kind of bottle. And see, this is dirty. This is oil from twice that I've cleaned out my deep fryer. So normally I hold on to one of these old jugs of oil, an empty jug, and I sit it maybe really far back in the back of my cabinet or somewhere. Or you can sit it out in the garage, somewhere just to store it so you can have something to pour that oil in. Because that's the hardest thing, having something that you can safely get rid of that oil. And then when it's time for the garbage man to come during the week, I just sit it down in the garbage and it goes. There has been times when I have set this whole thing down in my deep freezer and let it freeze before I sit it out in the garbage. Okay, so we're going to sit that there for now. And then like my water, I try to get it really hot. But a deep fryer is great. I notice a lot of people, when I'm watching YouTube, a lot of people are frying on top of their stoves in big pots. And that's fine because I've done that too. But it's a whole lot easier when you can get you a deep fryer. Oh, why my soap not coming out? Okay, so I'm going to wash this out first. Okay. Now this pot over here, I had an excess amount of oil. So I just use this pot to pour that extra oil in. This is dirty oil. So when I pour my clean oil into the reservoir, then I'll be able to use the empty jug to finish pouring this oil inside. Now this is the element. And this part you don't want to get it wet. But you see that old grease on there. So what I usually do is get a paper towel and try to get some of that grease off because I don't want it going down my drain. These little wires up here, be careful with these wires because this is what really operates your element. So you don't want to do anything to damage that. Now what I usually do, I had a toothbrush in my kitchen, but I got a new one here. I usually buy me a new toothbrush every so often that I use in my kitchen. It's not nasty because it's brand new. I know I have other little brushes I use too, but for this, something tiny, that's what I need. It's a soft bristle brush. And what I do, I just put some soap right on this brush and clean the element. The little tiny bristle, it gets in between the little cracks and crevices very well. Easy. Just get a little cheap toothbrush for about $1 at the dollar store. Well, it used to be $1. It might be $5 now, huh? This dollar store going up. But I won't be buying it for $5. Not for this job. Okay. See that? Got all that scrub good. Change your oil. Again, you'll know. You'll know when it's time to change it. But it makes life a whole lot easier. And then I just leave this. I have a spot in my kitchen on the counter. It has its own spot. And then when I get ready to fry, I just move it closer to my stove so it can be under the vent. Or close to the vent. Okay. Then when you get ready to dry this element off, just kind of pat it. Those little wires, you don't really want to mess with those too much. And make sure that you put oil in it before you cut it on. I made that mistake one day, called myself, put it back together and cut it on before I put that oil in there. It immediately burnt my deep fryer up. So don't ever make that mistake. Make sure that oil is in there before you cut it on. You don't have to learn the hard way like I did. You can put a pan on the stove and let it start heating up, but you cannot plug in these deep fryers and then pour that oil in there. I immediately tore up my deep fryer. Okay, so now this is the main part, the holder. And when I use my deep fryer, each time I use it, I always clean it off very well, because I don't want the grease to get hard on it. Okay, so that's let you know that this is the back. That's where your element is going to fit. So now you get your reservoir. And you put it down in there. That's the part that holds the oil. Okay. So now this part right here, these little trikes, that's gonna fit. It's gonna slide. This part right here is gonna slide between the elements in the casing here. And it's going to fit right on this. It's going to snap down on there. See that? There you go. snapped in. All clean and ready. So now I put the basket in a bag because I don't want the mess. So now I'm going to take it over to the sink and wash it. Take the towel and absorb that oil. Okay. Move this so you can see. Okay, first of all, I'm just going to rinse it good. You still got your toothbrush, so you can use that to get all up in those cracks and crevices. And when I finish cleaning this out, I'm going to fill my tea kettle after I wash out my sink. And I'm going to let that tea kettle boil that water, get good and hot. And I'm going to pour that scalding hot water down my drain. Some things I use this basket to fry with, but some things I don't use the basket. I take the basket out and just drop it down in that hot grease. Squeeze this right here. That toothbrush can get all up in there. You call it your kitchen brush. You know, people want to act like everything is so nasty. If you're using a toothbrush and it's clean and brand new, how can it be nasty? Now I wouldn't use the used brush in my kitchen. See that? Nice and clean. Okay. Try to clean that in. My toothbrush. You got all up in those cracks and crevices. Because you want to clean it well, because if you're going to go through the trouble of cleaning it, because it's one of those tasks that you don't want to do. But if you want to go through the trouble of cleaning it, you want to clean it well, so it will last. Okay. Okay, so we got it all clean and ready. And this is the cord. It's detachable. It goes with the deep fryer. Now, for people that have a big family, because when I had all my kids were at home, I had a deep fryer twice this size. And this one here is a Hamilton Beach, which I have had Hamilton Beach deep fryers before, and they are pretty good. They last. See that? Hamilton Beach. So I've had some before, and they last pretty good. But the one that I had when my kids was home, it was twice this size. So that means I could fry a lot of food in there at once. And then the plug, it snaps in right here in the back. See that? And when you finish, just unplug it. And it has a lid that goes on the top. Let me wash this lid off. See, it's dirty too. Okay, I got the top all nice and clean. And this is just a little vent that goes in the top. It snaps right in. See? And that's how it fits, and that's the way you store it, just like this. And if you're not one that fry every day, like I don't fry every day, I probably will fry maybe a few times a month. Sometimes I get in the habit of frying a little bit more, but overall I don't fry every day. But it will last you for a while. And you can do so many other things, you know, not just thinking about, you can throw your shrimp in there. Can't talk with this list with these things in my mouth, these Invisalign. But you can put shrimp in there, like French fries, anything that you fry. And like when I'm cooking fish, like in the South, a lot of us like whole fish with the bone in. So instead of putting like fillet fish in this basket, even if it's big fillets, I throw my fish right in this reservoir in that hot grease. And like if it's a whole fish with the tail on and everything, bone in fish, put that whole fish in there to fry like in a couple of minutes. But little things, put it in here, you can keep control of it. And it has a little hook, you can hook it on. It's great to use, a deep fryer. And even if you think about you want to do smothered chicken, but you want to batter that chicken and fry it down a little bit first, you can do it right here. And have your gravy ready on the side and put it over there in that gravy. Okay, let me get my grease. Okay, this is my Crisco. And it has a fill line over here. Like about halfway, it has a fill line inside. So don't put it past that, because sometimes if you're putting something in here to fry, especially if you don't get all the water out of it and that steam starts coming up, you don't want it to overload on you. So fill it up to the fill line. It has two fill lines. I always take it to the top fill line, which is halfway. Now I'm using Crisco this time. The last time I filled it, I used olive oil. Pop up on. Okay, took about 3/4 of a bottle because I had already used out of this jug of Crisco. So now you see I got me an empty jug And I can put the rest of that dirty grease in there that came out of here before I cleaned it. So there you go. That's how you do it. Now you can store your basket separate, or you can just put it right down here in your grease and cover it up. See? It's all clean and sealed for the next time. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye bye.